So
Yes.
I want to ask you, when were you diagnosed the first time with breast cancer?
The first time was 10 years ago, and the second one was now last year, October.
So when you were diagnosed the first time, how old were you?
I was in my 30s.
Okay. And did you feel a lump?
I did feel, but not actually, because there wasn't a lump at the first time. It was more a mass, like way behind, close to my lungs. So that's where it started. So it started with a pain in my back. And that's when I was concerned, because the pain didn't want to go away. So that's where the first one started. But the first one wasn't as aggressive. We could treat it like it wasn't an intense treatment as the second one that I had now in October. That's more, the cancer was more aggressive. And that's why I had to go through more aggressive treatment.
Okay, so the first time around, what did they do? Just do a surgery, or did they only do surgery?
No, we didn't do surgery. We did radiation to see that we can get it smaller, and it actually helped.
Okay.
And I used I used a little tablet as well, and that's it. So no pains, no nothing. So that was the easy one, because I think
Easy
that's
one.
very in the start. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me that the tablet, you took it for a certain amount of time, or are you still on it?
No, I'm still on it. I'm actually now with the new one. They've changed it. Is now I need to again 10 years. Now we have to use it for 10 years just to make sure that your everything is intact.
Now
the treatment is not done and over with.
Yeah. Tell me, so now the next time around, when were you diagnosed? Now the second time around.
The second time around, it was funny enough. It's October. The first one was also in October. Weirder.
Yeah, breast cancer awareness month, eh? Mine too. Weird.
Yeah, terrible. But yeah, that was a lump. I felt the lump just I just touched my breast one evening, just like, and my arm just like rubbed against my breast, and I thought there's something that's like really standing out. And then I said to my husband, there's something here that's not right. And he said, no, you have to go check it out. And turns out to be then now breast cancer.
Tell me, did they also so the doctor tells you there's a lump, you need to go for a mammogram, then you need to go for what happened after that?
Okay, we went now for the mammogram to check and scan. So then I went for an operation to remove, and then came back. Okay, it's now aggressive third stage, and then we had to go back to surgery to remove more, and to make sure that, okay, and then I had to stay in hospital for like a week after to make sure that there's nothing in my nothing spread, because the organs and everything was safe. So luckily, thank God for that, nothing spread, so I was safe. So the concentration was only on the breast then.
Okay, so then they obviously told you needed chemotherapy.
Yeah, chemotherapy. Went to see the doctor, my doctor. They put the plans all together. It's like a shock for the system, because they overflow you with information and what you need to do. Then you have to go back, think about it, and then you have to make a decision. Will I be able to, or I'm going to do the treatment, or what will I do? So hubby and my child said, no, you have to go through treatment to make sure that it doesn't spread. And so I decided, and I've done it. I'm through it, and I'm actually feeling so good. It's now, when did I start? I stopped radiation. My last radiation was now in June, and I feel so much better. I feel my old self again. Yeah.
Tell me, what was
you felt when you
what was the hardest part out of chemotherapy for you? Was it hard or not? Because some people find it extremely tiring, nauseous? What was your experience with chemo?
Okay, the first one that I've got was the red devil. That was really a devil because it was painful. I mean, sick. I was very sick with that one. But the third one wasn't as bad.
Mm.
Strange enough, the red devil, when I started the first one, the first time I went there for the chemo, first session wasn't bad. You feel the nauseous, you're tired, especially 4 days or what after I got my chemo, and then or say for instance 3 weeks, you feel like all done. Then that last week, just before you have to go again for the chemo, you start to feel okay again. So you actually got that 1 week of feeling yourself, and then you're back on feeling bad again. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
roller coaster thingy.
And tell me, how many chemotherapy sessions did you get eventually?
I didn't count. I said I wanted to, but at the first time when I start, and then I thought to myself, it's so terrible just to think it's such a long way. So I'm not going to count. I'm just going to go with the flow, and eventually I will get through this. But
Yeah.
it's the first one was now for a month. No, it's 4 times. I think 4 times
Every
once
three
a
weeks.
month.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then it changed again. Then I had to go for 17 sessions,
Weekly.
and then again 12 sessions, like every week. So it's
Yeah.
the treatment was now every day for the 15 days for the
Yeah.
month. So
So you also got like radiation every day for 15.
yeah, every day.
Was that exhausting? I know for me that was a tiring spot. The radiation's not bad, but it's really exhausting. Did you find you were tired with radiation?
I was feeling tired, not all the time. It wasn't. I didn't have like I felt a little bit nauseous. I don't know why, but your tiredness was there. Tiredness, it comes and it goes. It wasn't, but it was more to drive to go there and to come back again. That was tiring. I think to go every day for therapy, that was painful just for that short period, because it's very short periods. And then my skin wasn't that bad, but when I went for my last radiation, then my skin starts to show, it changed color, it starts to, these blisters, like that was very sore, but
Sure.
it also didn't last that long. It's like say 4 weeks, and then my breast was the sore, the rawness was away, and I could actually now move again like normal. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It took like 4 weeks after radiation to recover from that.
So tell me the hardest part going through breast cancer. Was it getting the diagnosis? Was it losing your hair? Was it the treatment? If you now have to tell people out there, what is the worst part for you? Because I think for everybody it's different, but what
Yeah.
one did you struggle with?
Okay. When I was in, it was a shock when they diagnosed me again with breast cancer, because you didn't expect it at all. So I was like stunned, and then you actually just go with the flow. Whatever you need to do, you do. You in that thing that you, okay, I'm in it, and I have to must see this thing through. And then the scary part is the chemo, because that's also unknown territory. So I was crying quite a lot, because I don't know. I was more scared of I wasn't scared about cancer. I was scared about the the chemo will have on me. Because I was actually very healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. And then you read about all these things that the chemo will do to your body, and that's scary, because now you feel healthy. Now you're going to make yourself so sick. So that was scary for me, and because of now the unknown, I don't know what to expect. So when I went there, the first session was fine. Then I'm fine because I know, okay, this will be the routine, and the nauseousness is there, the tiredness is there, but you take it day by day because there was days that you didn't feel well at all and you just want to be in bed the whole day. So I was in my pajamas most of the time. But I thank God that, oh, thanks, this feels like a good day work, because when you open your eyes in the morning, you can feel, okay, I'm energized, I'm ready for the day.
Yes.
And I went to work as well. I keep myself going, and if I feel tired and I don't feel myself, I stay at home or I work half a day. My work colleagues were very supportive regarding my work situation. So yeah, chemo was, but now when you think back, it wasn't actually that bad. You know, it's something you need to go through, and now I'm actually stronger. I really feel like a warrior because I've achieved something, and now I feel, you know, I've done it, I've made it, and now I'm so positive in. I'm a very positive person anyway, so it helps to think positive. I do never think negative. And then, you know, your mind can run away with you. So I've forced myself to think positive, and that actually helped me quite a lot. And of course, your family, your friends that support it. That's a big deal, and that helps actually also. When you feel bad, you know, there's somebody that's there to make sure that there's something to eat, or just there to help you through the thing. So yeah, it helps. Yeah, it was actually like the
Tell me
journey
about the
wasn't that bad.
hair and the hair loss. Were you somebody that felt identifying yourself with your hair? Was it hard, or was
it was just, why are we always asking the doctor when they say that you need to go through chemo? Why are we always asking, are we going to lose our hair? We don't mind about any other thing. It's the first thing that we ask is, are we going to lose our hair? I think it's because we don't know how we're going to look without hair. And that hair makes a person. And now you're going to walk around with no hair. So that was also, it was, for me, it was hard when every day they say from 8 days after your first session, your hair will start to fall out. I promise you, I've been pulling my hair from day 5, and then oh, it's still there. Oh, thanks, I've got hair. I still got hair. The hair is still there. My hair is not going to fall out. And 8 days after, I've cut my hair in a nice style. I love my hairstyle, and I was like, oh, the Sunday there it starts. Like, so your skin starts, your scalp starts to itch, and then
it comes out.
No stop at all, and then you look like somebody that was the mouse were eating in your hair, because like, woo, patches here and there. And I said, no, cut it. It was emotional. Yeah, I did cry, and but yeah, you get used to your bald head, and I made sure that I've got a week for before I start chemo. I make sure that I had everything. Like, I've got my wigs, and I've got my pajamas, and I've got my whatever to make me feel comfortable, because I don't know what to expect. And I wear my wigs at work, and then later on, I just leave the hair because it was irritating. So at work, when I go to meetings, I put the wig on, and if I'm back in my office, I took it off. And that's how I went through and managed this whole thing. And bald head, hubby said, no, you look fine with your bald head. It's not that bad. And then you start to get used to it. And then your hair starts to grow back again. And oh, yes, I've got hair. And I'm like, no, I already had my 3rd cut. I'm going today again.
What? Look at you.
It is growing. And I love it.
Anna, what can you tell people out there? I mean, you've now had it. So the question I want to ask you is, I've had cancer now once. Did you ever have, after your first diagnosis, have it in your head, I wonder if it's going to come back? Do you ever go through that? Did you ever go through those feelings from the first diagnosis onwards? Do you ever think, I'm not going to get it again? Or do you have it in the back of your head, I wonder if it's going to come back?
Never, because it was so long. It was like every time you go for your test, you're scared because you don't know what's going to happen. But then later on, as time goes, you start to relax and say, okay, you're fine. And then whoops, here comes the shock again. Now I must say, there's sometimes that these thoughts that just will it go to the lung or will it spread to the brain? You get that, but then I just put it behind me and I depress that thought and say, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. So I still try to get that sorted. Be positive and not let that get through to me.
Yeah. So now to educate the people out there that breast examinations monthly is a good thing to do, because I don't know, were you somebody that did it or not? Because I never did.
At first, I've got lumpy breast anyway. So you feel, because the tissue is very, what do you say, thick tissue now. So you feel, and then you thought it's something, and then, well, I never, but it is something that we really have to do. If you don't want to examine yourself, it's not difficult. I mean, sit in the bath and examine yourself. When you shower, just examine yourself. Or lie in bed and examine yourself. And it's not, you get so used to your body, you know now exactly where what is. So that is something that a woman needs to do. It doesn't matter how old you are. I think the better, the younger if you've got a teenage daughter, you need to teach them as well to please look after yourself, because cancer doesn't have an age. Unfortunately, there's no age restriction on cancer. So the more you be aware of it and spread the news to say, listen, you need to look and feel and make sure that you catch it before it spreads too far. So awareness of cancer is a big thing. You have to do it.
And so everybody must be aware, October month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You've got 2 months to decide when you're going to make your appointment. So the idea is about being aware of your breasts, how they feel, how they are. I always say to people, you need to know your breasts as well as you know your way home.
Exactly.
So, but you need to know your breast that well. So I'm so happy that you could join and share your journey with us. I mean, it's inspirational.
It is lovely.
Look at you after your second time around. I'm sure this is not going to happen again. And you know what? At the end, do you feel that the way you look at life has changed, or not really?
Very much. Oh, completely. I'm more. What can I say? I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward, but now we're all locked in, so we can't do what we want to do. But I feel so much more energized. I feel compassion towards other people because I know exactly what they know going through, especially when they first found out that they've got. Your whole mind changes around how you have to help other people. Because I'm in that situation, so I know. So and how other people supporting me, it is a mind change, totally mind change, totally a way of looking at life. Everything's changed. I think we used to take things for granted, and when things come around, like a scary thing like that comes around, now you don't take anything for granted anymore.
I also say don't fret the small stuff anymore.
It's true.
Well, girlfriend, I am so glad I came upon you, and thanks for sharing your journey. We are very cool, and all the way from PE. I think the one great thing the lockdown has taught us that we can still connect with each other even if we're far away. So
it's lovely. So I'm from a friendly city, and thank you for inviting me, and keep on doing what you're doing with your lovely hats, because that is a big thing for girlies that are bold. Makes them feel feminine and lovely. Thanks. I love it.
Thanks, Diana. Lots of love.